Hello students, today we are going to start the topic of regulation of gene expression from chapter 6 Molecular Basis of Inheritance. Gene regulation means how they synthesize the proteins. We take an example that there are housekeeping genes which are always synthesizing the proteins. For example, those genes which work for the process of glycolysis. There are other genes which we call luxury genes or the regulated genes. They are not always active. They are not always synthesizing the proteins. It means there is a system to switch on or switch off them. Gene regulation means switching on and switching off the protein synthesis based on the requirement. This regulation can be at 4 levels. For example, you can see there are 4 levels. The level could be transcription level. It could be splicing during the process of messenger RNA. It could be movement of messenger RNA from nucleus to the cytoplasm, or it could be translation level. But in our syllabus, we will study lac-operon, which is related to transcription level. Now is the concept of what is operon? A set of genes which work together for gene regulation, means switching on or switching off the protein synthesis, and the term comes operon. And in our syllabus we have lac-operon. We move to the page. The lac-operon. Elucidation of lac-operon was also a result of close association between a geneticist, Jacob, and a biochemist, Monod. It means there were two scientists. With their collaborative work, the lac-operon model was discovered. They were the first to elucidate a transcriptionally regulated system, means there is a regulation at transcription level. In lac-operon, a polycistronic structural gene is regulated by common promoter and regulatory genes. It means we are using a promoter and regulatory genes, and structural genes are working. Such arrangement is very common in bacteria and is referred to as operon. I have just given you the idea. What is operon? A set of genes which work together for switching on and switching off. And here are few examples of the operon. For example, lac-operon, trip-operon, and like this his-operon. It is for histidine, and it is for tryptophan, and it is for lactose, and it is for valine, and like this there are so many examples of operon. But we will study only lac-operon as per our syllabus. The lac-operon consists of regulatory genes, structural genes, and promoter. I explain you. Promoter, operator, structural genes, and repressor. Promoter. It is a site where RNA polymerase binds to initiate transcription of structural genes. I take you to the diagram. Promoter. It is the site where RNA polymerase binds to initiate transcription of structural genes. Then here is the operator. It is a site where repressor protein or inhibitory protein binds and blocks the operator. This is the site where this inhibitory protein binds. It does not allow the movement of RNA polymerase to structural genes. If it is blocked, it does not allow the movement of RNA polymerase over the structural genes. Second, when the site where RNA polymerase binds, it is also the site where RNA polymerase binds and moves to the structural genes when it is not blocked by repressor. So, operator is a gateway. Normally, it can allow the RNA polymerase to move over the structural genes when it is not blocked, when it is open, and in the other case, when it is blocked with the help of the repressor, it won't allow the RNA polymerase to move over the structural genes, and then there will be no protein synthesis. It means this is the gateway. Operator is the gateway. Then what are the structural genes? These genes are directly involved in protein synthesis. There are 3 structural genes in lycopyrrone: gene Z, gene Y, gene A. Gene Z, gene Y, gene A. They make their respective proteins: beta-galactosidase, permease, transacetylase. They can make their own proteins when they are in the switch on condition. And then next is the repressor, I, or the inhibitor. It always produces inhibitory protein which binds with the operator. This is the repressor, indicated with I. I is for inhibition. It makes its own messenger RNA, and then the repressor protein. It is simply making the protein. Protein is called repressor protein, which is the inhibitory protein. So, we have discussed about the structural genes Z, Y and A, operator, promoter and repressor, and they together constitute the operon. Now, our topic is how protein synthesis is started and how it gets switched off. This is the first case when it is switch off condition, and this is, we call it, in the absence of inducer. As I have already discussed the functions of various genes, the repressor gene, indicated with I for inhibition, it is making its protein, and this protein is always formed. This inhibitory protein repressor is always formed. It makes its messenger RNA, it makes it inhibitory protein called repressor protein, but this repressor protein binds with operator. Repressor binds to the operator O and prevents RNA polymerase from transcribing the operon. It means it doesn't allow the RNA polymerase to move over the structural genes. Means it doesn't allow the structural genes to work. No protein synthesis. This is the switch off condition. Second, we move to the stage when inducer is added in the medium. In this model, lactose is the inducer. We have studied lactose, a disaccharide common sugar, that is added in the medium. In this medium, E. coli was growing on, and this prokaryotic model was studied, as we know, by Jacob. And how they have studied this regulatory machinery. When inducer is added into the medium, it binds with the repressor. Here again, repressor was making its inhibitory protein like the previous case. Here, it was making the inhibitory protein. Same here, it is making the inhibitory protein, repressing protein. But what happens when inducer or the lactose is added? It binds with the repressor. It makes the repressor inactive. We can call it inducer repressor complex or inactive repressor. Now you see, operator site is free. It is not able to block the operator, and it can do its normal function. As I have told you, it has 2 possibilities. Either it can bind with this or it can bind with RNA polymerase. When it is able to bind with RNA polymerase, it is the switch on condition. Here again, promoter is giving the initiation signal, RNA polymerase, which freely moves over the operator and moves over the structural genes Z, Y and A. As they receive the signal, that is the RNA polymerase, they make their proteins. This is a polycistronic structure. So, they are making their own messenger RNA, which is the transcription we know. DNA transcribe messenger RNA, this is the normal transcription. Now, under translation, they make their own proteins. These are the 3 enzymes. All enzymes are proteins, we know. They are making their respective proteins. Gene Z makes beta galactosidase. Gene Y makes permease. Gene A makes trans-acetylase. So these are the 3 proteins and they keep on synthesizing. So in the presence of inducer, this was the inducer. These are in the active mode. They are in the switch on condition and they are synthesizing their proteins. So this is the on condition. How it will come back to the off condition? I explain you with the help of another diagram. How does it again turn to switch off? This was the case. How does it again turn to switch off? The lactose, which was the inducer over here, is broken into glucose plus galactose. It is broken with the help of beta galactosidase. You can see this was beta galactosidase. Now what happens? Beta galactosidase helps in the breakage of this inducer. I show you with reaction. Beta galactosidase is helping to break the lactose into glucose plus galactose. It means lactose is no more in the medium. Repressor blocks the operator, so signal RNA polymerase cannot move over the structural genes. I mean to say that this beta galactosidase, this is one of the product when the genes are active. It breaks this inducer at a later stage. Once the inducer is broken down, when there is no more inducer in the system will revert back to the previous switch off condition because the repressor, which is always formed, will bind with the operator. So, I summarize. In the switch off condition, repressor makes inhibitory protein which binds to the operator. So, signal RNA polymerase cannot move over the structural genes. They cannot make proteins. There is no transcription and no translation. And during the switch on condition, when lactose inducer is added to the medium, it binds with the repressor protein. It binds with the repressor protein. And it makes inducer repressor complex over here. Now the operator is free. RNA polymerase moves over the structural genes and synthesize their respective proteins. The proteins are, we know, beta galactosidase, permease, trans-acetylase, and this is the on condition. And I have already explained you how does it goes back to the off condition, as when the beta galactosidase breaks the inducer. I have explained you beta galactosidase breaks this lactose into glucose plus galactose. So lactose is no more in the medium, and when lactose is no more in the medium, we turn back to the switch off condition. Students, normally in the exam it is asked why in the absence of inducer it is switch off, and sometimes it is asked what will happen when inducer is added to the medium, or it gets on but how does it work, and once it is on, how does it go back to the previous condition. So with this, I hope you are clear with the working of the genes when they work in a regulated manner. A system to switch on and switch off the mechanism, the working of the genes, because all the genes are not always active. Some are always active, but others are either in the switch on condition or in the switch off condition based upon their need, and that regulatory system is the operand model. Thank you.